much information going on right now, and I'm sure every Nittany Lion fan that is walking into this stadium right now is starting to learn what's about to transpire. As Maryland kicks it away, we will see Penn State's offense on the field for the first time. We talked about Drew Aller and what he has meant to this program. He has been so steady, so consistent, and the numbers dictate that.
Yeah, steady is such a great word. From a five-star recruit that was really, I mean, we talked about Drew Aller like he was the guy to take this program to the promised land, and yet each year he's gotten a little bit better, added something to his game. This year, the key was that yards per attempt, the downfield passing, that's opened up a new element of the offense, and then also the running ability, Jeff. Look, he's not Lamar Jackson, but his ability to make plays with his feet when the defense least expects it has been a nice new wrinkle that's opened things up for the Nittany Lions.
Nick Singleton, he is the back to the left of Aller to open up this game. Saw a mini motion from Tyler Warren. They hand it off to Singleton. He is wrapped up for a gain of maybe one, and was the ball out. Officials are in the middle of the pile. Did that ball pop out? Maryland says they have it.
Wow. Wow.
And they do. Wow, first play of the game, and Maryland creates a turnover.
Listen, the one takeaway of college football as it currently stands is as soon as you think you know something, that's when you're going to get burned. There's no certainty in today's landscape. And for Tommy Akingbasote, what a great start for his Terrapin football team, a senior. They know this is going to be an uphill battle against a Penn State team that has a heck of a lot to play for today. In a picture-perfect start for Maryland, ripping that ball out and giving their backup quarterback a really nice opportunity to put some points on the board.
It's one of the things they've done all year long is create turnovers. That has been a staple in this defense for the last couple of years. And now Maryland's offense takes over at the Penn State 25. MJ Morris, his first start at Maryland. To pass, looking end zone, touchdown, Maryland, Caden Prather.
I mean, what a start, Jeff, a perfect start. It starts with the fumble. You have a backup quarterback, MJ Morris, getting the start today and throws an absolute dime. Look at him drop this in the bucket to Caden Prather. Tom Allen runs a lot of man-to-man coverage. Maryland's going to test the secondary of Penn State, and they have the weapons to do it. They got two great wide receivers. Caden Prather, you saw him there. Another guy we'll see today is Ty Felton, but a picture-perfect start for Maryland.
Jack Howes for the point after. And whistles before the kick. Holy jumping up and down, Martha. How did this game start? My goodness. Mark Lazunski.
Delay game. Number 7 defense made disconcerting action to start. The penalty is half the distance to the goal. This is the try for point.
So half the distance to the goal puts the ball at the 1.5 yard line, and they're still going to line up to kick the extra point now from the 10 after the delay of game penalty.
This has been the wildest year of college football that I can remember, and it's only fitting as we end the college football season that it finishes the way it started.
All right, Howes kicks it through to make it 7-0. How about we just recap what has happened over the last maybe 10 minutes of life?
Yes,
Jake?
please.
So Michigan ends up upsetting Ohio State 13-10. Wild game despite a couple of late interceptions and nobody really moving the football. 2 missed field goals from Ohio State left the door open for the Wolverines. They win. Penn State takes the field knowing all they need to do is get a win, and you are in the Big Ten championship game next week against Oregon. First play, fumble. Next play, MJ Morris making his first start in over a calendar year. Touchdown, Caden Prather. Can't put your arms around it.
No, I mean, it's a microcosm of the current landscape in college football. We have to embrace change. We have to embrace unpredictability. That's really been the theme of the college football season as a whole. As soon as you think you know something for certain, that's when you're going to get burned. I mean, the Buckeyes were a 20.5-point favorite today. No one thought Michigan had a chance on the road, and they got it done. Penn State, a heavy favorite in this game on senior night, knowing if they win, they're in. And then to start this way, great start for Maryland.
Good to know there's a lot of game left. Is Singleton on the return. Singleton into the open field. Down the sideline he goes. Singleton is pushed out of bounds in Maryland territory. And now the Nittany Lions are roaring.
All right, we're never allowed to say we're bored at the office, Jeff. I mean, my God, how about this? It's Singleton. I mean, it's a zero-sum game. If you're going to get stripped on the first play of the game, he's probably disappointed with himself. He says, don't worry, coach, I'll make up for it. And that's a great example of what makes him such a phenomenal athlete, is that long speed out in the open space. Good start for Maryland, but as you said, Jeff, plenty of game here for Penn State to bounce back.
Tyler Warren in the Wildcat. Warren will run it. Maybe a gain of 1 as a slew of Terrapins are there to bring him down. How about the Penn State starters? Their offensive line is going to be without their starting right tackle, Anthony Donko. Nolan Rucci starts, but they have weapon on weapon on weapon offensively. Ballard to pass to the outside. Catch is good. Omari Evans with the first reception of the game for Penn State.
Just from a strength and weakness standpoint, Maryland has been strong against the run. They've been able to make life challenging on opponents. In the back end, their secondary has been the weakness. They've rotated a number of guys. They're young. They've given up a ton of big plays. So that's the matchup to watch today. I know Penn State wants to run the ball with their coordinator, Kotelnicki, calling plays, but really the weak point of Maryland's defense is their secondary.
3rd down and 4. Second drive for Penn State. Katron Allen has trouble with the snap, and Allen goes down, and that may push them out of field goal range.
You know, creativity and aggression, it comes at a price. You risk things in order to get things. So here you shift late. You see Drew Aller under center in the shotgun. Watch him shift. Now you're going to get into a wildcat position, and this is a self-inflicted wound. I mean, this is nothing Maryland did. I mean, this is something they practiced a ton of times. Katron Allen certainly trusty. A number of guys are trusty in that wildcat position, but right now at this point in the game, Penn State self-inflicted wounds. Maryland taking advantage of those opportunities.
49-yard try from Ryan Barker. The kick is up, and it is good. Just over the crossbar as the freshman Ryan Barker, a new career high, a 49-yard field goal. Catch your breath, folks. We'll be back to Happy Valley.
Yeah.
7-3 Maryland on a chilly day in State College. Today's Impact Players, Jake, they're sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance.
And Ty Felton, the receiver for Maryland, he's the total package. In my opinion, one of the best route runners in the conference. Also great after the catch. Leads all wide receivers in yards after the catch. A lot to be made about Abdul Carter, the talented edge for Penn State, but in my opinion, Zane Durant is the key to this defense. He's the interior guy that makes all of this work. Extremely disruptive. 6'1", 290 pounds. If he was 6'3", 330, he'd be a first-round pick in my opinion, but he uses his, I guess, shorter stature, if you want to call someone 6'1" short, to his advantage. He creates a ton of leverage and knockback there on the inside of the Penn State defense.
Daniel Nwosu kicks it away. Ball checks up at the 10-yard line. Penn State covers the kick beautifully, and Maryland will take over inside their own 15-yard line. MJ Morris has thrown one pass in this game, and it was good for a 25-yard touchdown. Makes his first start since he was at NC State. We've got a player down for Penn State at the moment. Heavy pursuit and trying to pin Maryland back after that ball checked up like a lob wedge.
The pads are cracking, and it is very chilly and windy here at Happy Valley.
And it's about, we were down in the field before the game, Jake, and it's a good 20 degrees difference between what's going on the field and where we are right now. We're very thankful to be up in the booth for sure. We're going to be checking in on Brooke over the course of the day. And there's your up to the moment weather in University Park. State College 26 degrees, feels like 17. Got a pretty gusty breeze blowing from left to right. Great drone shots yet again from our crew.
There was a time in my life back when I was playing where I loved weather like this. I was the guy that didn't wear sleeves. Now I'm soft, Jeff. I'm got a big winter jacket up here trying to stay warm with you.
We got hand warmers. We got everything. Those guys down there show no sign of weakness. You see what kind of effort this defense puts forth, and now what is the second drive for Maryland. This has been a fantastic defense all year long for Penn State. Morris puts it in the belly of Roman Hemby, who picks up a couple on first down. And for Maryland, they are without Billy Edwards, so the skill position players, Ty Felton, Shalik Knotts, those are your wideouts. Ty Felton, so I'm knocking on the door of 100 catches this year.
I mean, the truth is for Maryland, this is really a one-dimensional offense. They haven't been able to get much in the run game, so they've leaned heavily on their wide receivers. They use screens and quick games almost as an extension of the run game, and a big reason is the offensive line is young and inexperienced and hasn't been able to generate movement.
Defense making checks. Here's a wide receiver screen out to Felton. Felton across the 20. He is close to a first down. Catch number 93 on the season for Ty Felton. Here's that Penn State defense, and they are a just load in the front seven.
Yeah, they're fast. The speed jumps out on tape. They're disruptive. TFLs, sacks. They fly around, but the secondary of Penn State's defense is going to be tested today. As we mentioned, Maryland loaded at the wide receiver room and clearly got a quarterback in MJ Morris that is willing and able to push the ball downfield.
It's 2 for his first 2. Third down and short. Hemby in motion. Morris going to run for it, puts his head down, leans forward for a first down for the Terps.
Really nice play call there too, and this is one of the elements that MJ Morris has to his game is his willingness and ability to keep the ball and design quarterback runs, also off schedule. Had a nice touchdown last week running outside of the pocket. So for Penn State, they're going to have to defend 2 plays today. It's the initial play that's called, and then it's the off schedule play when MJ Morris makes some things happen with his feet.
Set up the screen. Hemby got upended. And a gain of 2 on first down. If you're looking for UCLA Fresno State, go to btn.com/gamefinder right now. See where you can find the game in your area. Back in Happy Valley, 2nd down and 8. Stack the receivers now. No snap by the center. Everybody else was moving. They put Dylan Wade in motion.
False start. Offense. Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
The old everyone but the center.
Well, listen, Penn State is talented and they're a team on a mission. You know, Maryland, this is an opportunity in this game. I mean, we talked about the perfect start. You can't draw that up better. Penn State has given them opportunities, but what do you do with that opportunity? Certainly, yards are going to be hard to come by, so the more that they can avoid penalties, the better served they'll be.
Penalties have killed them all year long. 2nd and long, pressure coming, able to get it out, and it's incomplete. Abdul Carter was breathing on MJ Morris, just able to get rid of that football. 3rd and long. Denied Dennis Sutton was in the backfield as well. I mean, those guys are dynamic off the edge. They complement each other really well. And here we're going to see another 3rd and long situation where this pass rush from Penn State is going to show up. It's Abdul Carter standing up over the center. Morris steps up to the outside. Short of the 30-yard line. Dylan Wade made the catch, and it sets up a punting opportunity. Good stand by Penn State's defense.
This is going to be a key to the game today, is the pursuit inside out. The defensive line and the linebackers, again, Maryland, they can't run the ball. So they use the screens, the quick games, passes underneath. They want to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Tom Allen told us the key to their defensive success, those guys inside the box pursuing and flying to the football.
Zion Tracy back to receive the punt, calls for the fair catch right at the 30-yard line, and Penn State's offense will go back to work. What a shot from State College. All eyes on the Nittany Lions today. And Tyler Warren breathing on a number of records, potentially including his record in terms of yards. How about today's trivia on the Big Ten Network? It's brought to you by T-Mobile. Which player holds the record for the most single-season receiving yards by a Big Ten tight end? And just 73 away for Tyler Warren. He's one catch away from setting the all-time tight end receptions record in this conference. Aller on play action. Aller looking downfield. There's Warren and the record. Catch number 76. Flag at the back end of the play.
Holding.
And it'll be a hold.
Offense number 53.
We'll have to wait for that next catch for Tyler Warren.
First down.
We had our dress rehearsal all squared away for that record-setting catch.
I'm sure he'll get another one. There's the center. Number 53, Nick Dawkins. Okay, yeah, holding, tripping. Tommy Aking-Basote already showing up with a forced fumble to start the game. He is extremely disruptive. I love the interior of Maryland's defensive line. Aking-Basote and Jordan Phillips, extremely disruptive. Those guys are going to have to show up big today if Maryland wants to pull off this upset.
Stack the bottom of the screen with receivers. Set up the wide receiver screen. Out past the 25-yard line to Liam Clifford.
I know it didn't count, but what would have counted, that catch to Tyler Warren, is just a great example of what Kotelnicki has brought to this offense. Everyone knows they want to get the ball to Tyler Warren, but it's the creative ways that they do.
Almost intercepted after that ball was off the hand of Tyler Warren.
That was almost picked. I mean, this is another example of a creative way. You don't see too many teams run these underneath smoke screens to your tight end. Speaks to his athletic ability, but Penn State dodged a bullet there because that almost ended up being picked off.
Kivas Thomas, sophomore corner, was the one who got his hands on it on the deflection. So third down and long for Penn State. Aller to pass. Back shoulder throw intended for Julian Fleming, incomplete, and that'll force a punt. Save for the really good field position after the great Singleton kickoff return. Penn State's offense hasn't moved.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great opportunity for Maryland. You know, talking to Coach Loxley, you know, they're not going to get to a bowl game, so you naturally ask, what do you have to play for? You have a lot to play for, and Loxley made it very clear that his team was coming in here ready and prepared to win. And for the seniors, the last opportunity for them to go out there and put it out on tape.
Riley Thompson kicks it away. Felton, no return. Mike Loxley trying to ruin Penn State's dream season. Terps up 7-3.
Let's Monopoly go!
Zakee Wheatley, Jalen Reed. A number of the seniors for this Penn State team trying to get to the Big Ten championship game with a win. They go up the middle and a good gain on first down by the freshman Nolan Ray, who continues to improve week after week for Maryland.
Yeah, they're excited about him, and he's got a bright future, a redshirt freshman. He's been a bright spot. I mentioned already a few times their inability to consistently run the ball. Well, Nolan Ray's been a bright spot. What I love is his toughness and his physicality, Jeff. He's averaging over 4 yards after contact per carry. So at that point of contact, who wins? The great backs, they fall forward.
Second down and short. Heat coming down goes Morris. Abdul Carter with another sack.
At all times throughout the game, you better identify where number 11 is. He's that kind of player. He's a first-round pick, and I mean that he didn't even get touched by Andre Roy Jr. It's going to be something to watch. Maryland's really beat up in the left side of that offensive line, particularly at the left tackle spot. They're going to need to send help, double teams, to try to slow down Abdul Carter.
9th sack of the year, 18.5 tackles for loss. More pressure. Again, the Nittany Lions get to Morris.
This D-line is so good and so disruptive. They're like a great boxer where they beat up on you and you try to retreat just to catch your breath. They don't give you a chance to catch your breath. We've seen Denai Dennis Sutton get in the backfield. We saw Abdul Carter the play before. How about number 15, Amin Vanover? His turn, but gosh, I mean, they're so deep, they're so athletic. And they got the perfect play caller in Tom Allen, who has an aggressive mindset to send them home often.
Almost got home on that punt. Tracy back to return. Tracy looking to get to the edge, cuts it at the hash mark and across the 35-yard line. Back-to-back sacks by this Penn State defense. See if their offense can match the intensity.
That's what I'm saying. Sunday's the
searching for their first down in this ball game. And Jake, how about today's impact players? Are sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Can't go further than the tight end Tyler Warren.
I mean, he's Mr. Everything. He does a little bit of everything for this offense. Listed at tight end, but goes far beyond that. We've seen him throw some touchdowns, run for touchdowns, wildcat. He's a great blocker. And the John Mackey Award goes to the nation's top tight end. He's in the final 3, and I'd say the heavy favorite.
Prabula on the field. He'll hand it off. Katron Allen goes over the right side across the 40-yard line for a gain of 4. You'll see a couple of quarterbacks on the field at the same time with Aller and Bo Prabula.
You know, game planning against this Kotelnicki offense has got to be something. I mean, you have limited amount of hours per week per NCAA rules, and you know, each week you got to commit resources. A significant amount of those resources are towards understanding the different personnels and formations and shifts they like to use.
Hand off again. Allen trying to get him going. He got stuck after a gain of 1.
The pads are cracking today, huh? The sights and sounds of football. We've heard some big-time shots.
Michael Harris, who's making the start today in place of Caleb Wheatland, who is out. He was the one that laid the big hit on Allen. Big third down coming up for Penn State.
Let's find Tyler Warren. There he is, attached to the formation right here. He's usually the go-to guy in these situations.
Sprint right, incomplete. Coverage by Glenn Miller out on the outside on Clifford. And another 3 and out for Penn State. Still looking for that elusive first down.
No, that's a really basic concept. This is just a boot out action, and really there's only 2 options Drew Aller has. It's an out route to Clifford, or it's a corner route behind him. And Clifford just didn't win enough, so there really wasn't anywhere for Drew Aller to go with the football.
Punting away to Ty Felton. Good boot, catch, no fair catch called for. Flag comes out. Felton is on the move as he cuts it back up the middle across the 20.
I think they're going to get a kick catch interference there. Felton did not call for a fair catch.
Kick catch interference. Kicking team number 5. The penalty is 15 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Not the best analyst in the league for nothing. Jay Booty was all over it back in 15. 10+ wins in 3 straight seasons for the first time since the early 80s. He's had 10 wins at Penn State 6 different times. It still has not clinched that playoff spot. Chance to play in the Big Ten championship game with a win today as they hand it off up the middle, still chugging those legs. Very short gain on first down. We'll experience the expanded Big Ten conference like never before with Big Ten Plus. Stream thousands of non-televised live events across the Big Ten. Plus enjoy next day game replays for every Big Ten game. Subscribe now, BigTenPlus.com. Second down and 9 for the Terps. Morris pulls it out. Heat coming. They set up the screen, and in the backfield was denied Dennis Sutton to alter that play.
I mean, we've seen that Maryland they're not even touching the defensive ends for Penn State. I mean, I don't know what number 71, Alan Herron, was doing there, but he didn't even get a hand on denied Dennis Sutton. This D-line is too good. Even when you get hands on them, they still dominate.
They are hungry and they are feasting right now on the Terps.
There's a dual Carter.
Heat, and again Morris is sacked. On the backside, Zion Tracy.
This is the scheme showing up. I circled Abdul Carter. He didn't even end up bringing pressure. So what you see is the line is going to slide towards these guys. That's going to leave Zion Tracy unblocked off the edge. So take a look at that right there. The left tackle thinks that he's setting down and it's going to be a full turn over to the right because that's where it appeared the pressure was coming from. But in actuality, the pressure was coming from Zion Tracy, unblocked, and a big-time sack.
First sack for him this year. Tracy back to receive the punt. He'll have it at the 40, 15 seconds. We'll be right back to Happy Valley.
Team, it's been a grind, but I think I've aged you well. Some might say perfect. Who's ready to show who's the cheesiest?
I woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach! Cheez-It, official sponsor of the college football playoff.
7-3, Maryland scored on their first play of the game following a fumble. Penn State wants to go fast. Singleton's in the backfield. Shift the entire formation to the right side. Clifford. Aller now back to pass. Aller across the middle. Warren with the catch. Down to the 40, and the record is his. The all-time catch leader for tight ends in the Big Ten Conference, Tyler Warren. Handoff, Singleton right side, wrapped up, maybe a yard. Kudos to Tyler Warren. He's been doing it time in and time out.
There's no one better in the business right now. I mean, we're talking about his catching statistics. He's also a phenomenal blocker. There's really no weakness to his game.
Aller is going to run and fall forward to make a third down and manageable.
And again, I go back to the scheme too, because everyone on the planet knows that Penn State wants to get the ball to Tyler Warren, but on that play, they started with the shift, then motioned Liam Clifford way out towards the sideline. And then because of that window dressing, Maryland was spread out horizontally. There was no one in the middle of the field where Tyler Warren was able to settle down in the zone, and Drew Aller found him. So when you got a guy that's this talented, his talent is impacted even more by a creative play caller in Koto Nicky.
Third down and 3. Aller hands it off. Singleton with an ankle tackle. He's going to be a yard short. Now do you go for it? We've seen the range from Ryan Barker.
You absolutely go for it. Again, part of this, there's this game, but then there's the broader picture where Penn State wants to take that step as a program. They've been good, they've been great. They want to be championship. Well, championship teams, they get 1 yard their way, regardless of what the defense presents.
Looking for a lion push from the backside, and they get it. They brought J.B. Nelson and Cooper Cousins in to block. First down, Penn State. We talked about our trivia question, brought to you by T-Mobile. Which player holds the record for most single-season receiving yards by a Big Ten tight end? Well, again, Tyler Warren is breathing on it. Jake, who's your answer?
Revealed.
Travis Beckham, Wisconsin, 2007, 982 yards.
Underrated name. There's been some great names. You know, Big Ten they can claim the tight end conference.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Beckham had a really productive career there at Wisconsin, and just puts even into more context how special this season Tyler Warren how special of a season Tyler Warren's been having.
2nd and 9, Penn State going fast. Aller, end zone, incomplete. Trying to get it to Omari Evans. 3rd and long.
Well, Omari Evans has really great high-end speed. He's a guy that can get behind the defense, which is what Penn State was trying to get to there. But as he was running vertical, he was almost too fast for his own good. He stumbled. Watch him work this route right in the middle of the screen, right here. If he stays upright, I mean, we say if you're even, you're leaving. He was going to clear the back end of Maryland's defense, but once he stumbled, that kind of ended the play.
Saw him go for it on 4th down already as Tyler Warren's running the Wildcat. Warren will pass to the outside. Singleton makes the catch, and he's down to the 20-yard line. Tyler Warren.
And earlier.
We've already converted on a 4th down on this drive. Aller going to push the pile ahead, and another 1st down. Something about the state of Pennsylvania and that push from the backside, huh?
Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That is one of the hardest plays to stop in football, and Drew Aller's a bigger-bodied quarterback. Just under 240 pounds, so and then you got the help from his buddies behind him pushing. Really almost impossible to stop that play.
Franklin not pleased with something on that sideline. It's 1st down and 10 from the 19 inside the red zone of Maryland for the first time. Aller hands it off. Singleton up the middle, pushing the pile near the 10. They'll mark him down at the 12. Finally starting to get that running game going. Longest run of the game by far. Handed off. Singleton again wrapped up in the backfield and driven for a loss. Glenn Miller on the stop.
Glenn Miller is their nickel, kind of in that rover position, and looked like Penn State may not have even accounted for him there. Play side, and he wasn't even touched coming off the edge. Nice job making the play when he had the opportunity to.
And a big 3rd down try. Penn State 0 for 5 so far on 3rd down, but they've converted twice on 4th down.
If you're Maryland, you can't give up an inch, because if you allow Penn State to get into that 4th and 1 situation again, they'll go back to that unstoppable play.
Empty set with Aller. Aller to Warren. 1st and goal, Nittany Lions.
In a sense, that's also the unstoppable play. Just throw it to your big tight end, Tyler Warren. He's so good. Never have to worry about him. If you put that ball in his vicinity, he's going to come down with it.
Aller to pass again. Warren was taken down, flag out, pass interference coming. Dante Trader, one of your impact players, was in on the coverage.
It's going to be the matchup to watch today. Dante Trader, the versatile, he's been their do-it-everything safety for Maryland.
Pass interference. Defense number 12. The ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
Right call, obviously. But what makes Tyler Warren so tough to stop is his size. It starts with 6'6", just about 260, but he's extremely athletic. I'd imagine he's a 4'6" guy at the combine when he decides to go to the NFL. And he knows how to use his body and leverage to his advantage.
Handoff, Singleton, touchdown, Penn State.
That drive looked completely different from the others. Couple key 4th down conversions. Good mix of run and pass. Drive had a little bit of everything, but it looks like we got an offensive lineman, Ioane, the left guard, down. We mentioned they're already without their right tackle, Anthony Donko. Now Ioane down on the field.
Oliva Venga Ioane, 6'4", 350. They're starting left guard. Has had a really good season according to the coaching staff, and there's a lot of traffic. And Singleton got pushed into the leg of Ioane. See that time and time again with so many bodies up against one another at the line of scrimmage.
Didn't see too much on that play.
Helped up to his feet and get some love from the Terps defenders. Reynolds way to the sideline, and that drive for Penn State looked like the offense that we've seen for the majority of the season. Barker for the point after. Penn State has the lead for the first time at home on Senior Day.
My mother told me, don't forget to pray, 'cause there'll be hard times. Hard times, oh yeah,
In the booth, his sense of humor can quote Caddyshack with the best of them. He will be missed on this crew. He's been a part of the A crew for 14 years and just a presence amongst presents. Ike, we're going to miss you, buddy.
Coaches would always say, you know, like, let's use Tyler Warren as an example. Like, man, if I had 11 Tyler Warrens, we'd win a lot of games. If the world was full of Ikes, the world would be a better place. It's just the truth.
Here comes Maryland again. They got a 25-yard touchdown from MJ Morris to Caden Prather on their first play following a fumble. They have 0 yards since then.
Can I be very blunt here? Nothing matters if their offensive line doesn't at least try to block Penn State's defensive line. Doesn't matter the play call, doesn't matter anything. You got to protect MJ Morris.
Handoff goes to Roman Hemby. Tackle made by Devon J. Thomas. For Maryland, it's the first time scoring on their first offensive play since 2019. That was against Rutgers. Dante Demas, an 80-yard touchdown reception.
Part of what made that play work too, Jeff, is the ball was out of MJ Morris's hands right away. Something they might get back to here with the pressure Penn State's been able to generate.
Go right back up the middle with Hemby. Well, how much of that as well was maybe catching Penn State off guard? You're thinking opening play, there's no way that we're going to go on the field right now.
Yeah. Well, they were prepared for the moment because it was a red zone play, and what Tom Allen likes to do down in the red zone is bring pressure and play single high man. So that was the exact look you'd expect to see. Now in the middle of the field, though, Tom Allen has more flexibility to disguise coverage and confuse MJ Morris.
Third and 4 for Maryland.
Here's Ty Felton up top. That's their go-to guy I'd be looking for here on third down.
To the outside, Hemby has the catch and reaches forward. Are they going to give him the first down? They're going to mark him a half a yard short.
That was close. That was very, very close.
Fourth down, Maryland. Where did he go out of bounds with relation to where that football is? It's hard to see there. Didn't look like any part of his body was out of bounds yet.
Big time tackle though by number 4 A.J. Harris, because Hemby had a lot of momentum coming downhill at him.
They're going to go for it, at least show that they're going to go for it. They run it, and Penn State holds. Needed a half a yard, lost a half a yard.
So this is a big thing about analytics. Analytics tell you to go for it in 4th and short situations, but what analytics don't account for is the Penn State defensive line. They've been disruptive all day. I didn't get a chance to say it pre-snap, but I don't think you don't call that understanding how much your offensive line's been dominated. And if you do call it, I don't think you call a run up the middle. This D-line is too disruptive. They're too good. They're too stout. And Maryland was introduced to the brick wall that is that Penn State front 7 there on 4th and short.
Teams averaging less than 100 yards a game against that front. Aller back to pass. Aller finds his other tight end on the far side. Khalil Dinkins with the catch. 1st and goal, Nittany Lions.
Again, they just do a good job with the window dressing. There's so much pre-snap movement and lateral movement and motion. You just lose Dinkins down the sideline. Nice accurate ball by Aller.
Allen on the carry. Allen in. Touchdown, Penn State. Far official signaled touchdown. Is that ball across the time that knee hits? This may not stand if the officials go back and look at it again.
Looks like it might be a bit short. Very close. Might get a better look.
The ruling on the previous play was a touchdown. Place under further review.
Such a great shot from our camera crew up on the cart.
You can barely see the ball there behind his white gloves, and it looks like from that angle when his knee hit, his white glove was a bit short, which meant the ball was a bit short.
So they're going to go under the hood and check this one out. And the call on the field was touchdown. Have to prove that it wasn't.
You know, what a gutsy win for Penn State last week on the road at Minnesota. We asked James Franklin, kind of just zoom out and ask him where his team's at. And he felt the team had done a lot of good things this year, but there was more room for improvement. And felt this game was extremely important for them. He's, not worried about tomorrow, not worried about potentially playing in the Big Ten championship or the playoff. They wanted to play their best game. And it was a frustrating start, but since then it's been all Penn State.
Call was coming from the officials.
After review, the runner's knee was down with the ball short of the goal line. It would be 2nd and goal.
Just short. Maybe they feed the big man again.
If I had a crystal ball, I'd expect that exact same formation.
That offensive line starting to get some push. That running game is getting going on the last 2 drives. Allen back in the backfield. Singleton scored the first touchdown for Penn State. They get push formation. Aller pushes forward. Signal touchdown. Ran for a huge touchdown last week against Minnesota. That's his 5th score of the year.
What I really like about that formation is how it fits in the context of the offense, because sometimes you can get lulled to sleep by your own creativity. Certainly we've highlighted the creativity of Kotelnicki's offense, but what championship teams do is they just take it from you in these short yardage situations. If you want to be a championship team in 4th and 1 or goal to go situations, you don't need to get cute. You line up and just run it right at them. So far, Maryland with no answer for that quarterback sneak.
Brought the starting right tackle, Nolan Rucci, in the backfield at 6'8", 310 to help push Aller into the end zone. Barker for the point after. It is good. Penn State, 17 unanswered, up by 10.
2, please. Thank you.
And that's a whole separate conversation now, is what's more favorable, the first round bye or the potential 5 seed host a home playoff against the 12 seed and then play the 4 seed in the 2nd round.
Wozu puts the right foot into it, and returnable for Josiah McLaurin. McLaurin gets to the outside and push out of bounds just past the 25-yard line. Let's head out to Chicago. Check in. Excuse me, hold on. We'll wait just a moment before we get to Ashley. Tempers flaring, saw that flag come in late, and now another flag in the form of a hat has been thrown. So let's clean this up before we head to Chicago.
Happened really late, though. I didn't see it happen almost where they started to blend in with their own sidelines.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, receiving team number 9. Unsportsmanlike conduct, kicking team number 7. Those penalties offset. First down, Maryland. This is their first unsportsmanlike of the game.
Donnell Brown had the initial penalty, and then Penn State was given a penalty late again just in response, so the penalty's offset. There's the first shove by Donnell Brown.
Brown was upset. He felt he got shoved late, but based on that film, he wasn't shoved late. You know, the whistles hadn't been blown yet. Thankfully, it didn't lead to anything more drastic.
So Nolan Ray starts in the backfield with MJ Morris. Ray gets the carry, brought down, and now we're ready to go to Chicago. Ashley, what do you got?
Jeff, thank you so much. Let's check out West, Notre Dame, USC. Jaden Mayava plunging in from the 1-yard line to tie the game at 7-all, about 5 minutes to play in the first half. Jeff.
Thanks so much, Ashley. A lot riding on that game, too, out of the Coliseum. Notre Dame CFP.
I mean, there was a time when there was such thing as a guarantee. Like, the talent gap was so great at the college football level. But now one of the advantages of the transfer portal and NIL is talent is spread out.
Set up the screen. It was tapped away. Preston Howard was the intended receiver on the tight end screen. And just take last night. Georgia Tech. 8 overtimes.
Yes. Yep.
There's the tip.
And even to bring it back to Penn State, I mean, that's what James Franklin asked him yesterday, how he felt he had grown as a coach and how this program had taken a step. And he felt that one of the big reasons was he's finally seeing alignment from the top down, the AD, the university as a whole, allowing them to go get the players they need to win at the highest level.
Penn State rushes just 4 to the outside, and it's incomplete. Boy, that had disaster written all over it as Nolan Ray couldn't catch it. And another 3 and out from Maryland's offense.
You know, really, they only rushed 3 and had a spy, actually. And it is just amazing to see how quickly that pocket collapsed on MJ Morris. Just from a numbers game standpoint, you have plenty of numbers to have a clean pocket. But again, this D-line, I'm repeating myself now. They came to play as they always do and are just completely taking over this game right now.
4th straight drive without a first down for Maryland as that punt checks up. We'll roll right to the 41-yard line. Maryland's got the football given away to Penn State. James Franklin and the Nittany Lions, 17 unanswered.
Get a great deal on the vehicles.
Tight end in college football, and really one of the most underrated parts of his game is his IQ. Clearly a great player, but Kotelnicki said, and we want to get him the ball in creative ways. Well, his ability to grasp and understand multiple facets of the offense allows Kotelnicki to line him up. You see him attached to the line of scrimmage, standing up. You see him in the slot. Obviously, we highlighted him catching the standing in the wildcat position as a quarterback. Does a little bit of everything and does it all well.
And now he's the lead blocker for Singleton, who almost gets to midfield. Tyler Warren, we came in, he was 73 yards short of the all-time single season record for receiving yards. He's only got 45 to go. Aller ended up with that football on the ground, trying to escape, throws it out to Warren, who leaps over one. He's down the sideline, still in bounds.
This guy's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. How about Drew Aller, too? I mean, seriously, this is what makes him so special. He's like Ben Roethlisberger in the pocket. You can't just bring him down. And Tyler Warren truly showing everything. The stiff arm into the hurdle, breaking tackles, rumbling, tumbling, stumbling. NFL GMs are going to be fighting over the chance to keep him on their roster going forward. He is the total package.
Handed off Singleton across the 20-yard line. The biggest question I had was that a forward pass? No, it was a backward pass. So it's 29 yards on the ground for Tyler Warren.
So the ometer is stagnant as of now.
Correct, in terms of receiving yards.
He does carry, though. I'd be interested to see the record for tight end rushing yards in a season.
For Beulah on the field, he hands it off. Singleton right side. Singleton inside the 5. Down at the half-yard line.
This point in the game can be summed up as Penn State imposing their will on Maryland. What a great job fighting. Ooh, the first thing that touches the elbow, where's the ball? That is close once again.
Beulah
won't matter.
Reaches, touchdown. That's his 4th rushing score of the year.
Playing this offense has got to feel like you're dragged out to the middle of sea and you just can't catch your breath. It feels like you're drowning. I mean, they play with such a pace and such a tempo, and have so many talented guys that they can get the ball to. I mean, this has just been, they're pouring it on at this point. They've scored so many points in a hurry.
Very fortunate bounce for Beulah. That ball was in and out of his hands before he started running with it. As Barker puts it through, 24 straight points for Penn State's offense. They are rolling in Happy Valley. We're back at 30.
Look.
24-7 Penn State. Follow at B1G Football right now on X, YouTube, and Instagram. Get immediate access, best highlights, features, and the teams that you love. Don't wait any longer. Follow at B1G Football on social media right now. I will say that over the course of the week, and yesterday as a matter of fact, when they started pushing all their predictions out for this weekend, Jake Butt, now it shouldn't surprise anybody that you picked Michigan over Ohio State. But you got a lot of flack for that just because of the point spread.
I did.
But you were right.
I picked them by 3. I said it was going to be a close, low-scoring game. But I said the key is that rivalry's mental. That game, that upset today was all mental.
Want some football trivia? Just ask Siri. Which coach has the most college football championships?
Almost completely night in Happy Valley. 24-7. And James Franklin and his offense, they are rolling now. The running game is going, getting just enough from the passing game. But this defense, probably the most underrated in the conference.
We got to get Ty Felton involved.
Abdul Carter was right in the backfield. This catch is good out to the wide receiver. That's Braden Wisloski.
They're not touching Abdul Carter. I mean, they're trying, but they're not touching. And it just makes life impossible for MJ Morris, for anybody.
You mentioned earlier, for MJ Morris to be successful, he's got to get the football out of his hand immediately, just to help his offensive line. Low snap, handoff up the middle. Roman Hemby stumbling his way towards a first down for Maryland.
That's an example of what happens when your defense is aggressive, but the offense picks it up. There was no levels, so there was no insurance. Once Hemby was able to get through the line of scrimmage, he had a lot of green grass. Smartly going with and switching up the snap count here. Just trying anything to slow down the Penn State pass rush.
Another handoff. Penn State was ready for it that time. Devon J. Thomas, the initial pressure on that carry, no gain.
Ty Felton is one of the leading receivers in the conference. He's been their Mr. Everything. He's been the guy that gets the ball. He solves problems for him, and he's great after the catch. One catch for 6 yards today. Very shocking that they have been unable to get him the ball. He's lined up in the slot here. See if they get him the ball on this drive.
Toss to the outside. Good pressure from that outside. Carter made him go back in towards the hash, and a gang of Nittany Lions were there waiting for him.
That's what makes Abdul Carter so special, because watch, initially, Roman Hemby has leverage. Like where he caught that ball, he had Abdul Carter out leveraged. But Abdul Carter is just such a great athlete. He closed and forced it back inside.
3rd and 10.
Running backs have to chip. You have to double team Abdul Carter here. You got to do something so MJ Morris feels like he can hang on to the ball.
Morris intercepted. Now Davion Collins picks up his first sack, our first interception, and it's going the other way.
Penn State has 2 great coordinators that love to play with the minds of their opponents. That time brought pressure backside, and MJ Morris probably felt like he had to get rid of the ball because of the pressure and just did not see Collins at all. Great job by Collins reading the eyes of MJ Morris, triggering and coming up with that INT.
Great field position for Penn State. Allen's in the backfield. Katron Allen cuts it back towards the hash and gains 4. Did that ball pop out? Maryland says that it did.
Like he might have been laying on top of some bodies.
2nd down, no worse for the wear.
Let's see here. You see Allen is on top of, he's not down, still not down.
And that body,
now down.
That ball popped out, but did he end up with it on the bottom of that pile? All for a gain of 4. Allen back in the backfield. Allen gets it again and is hit hard. Kingby Sote brought him down after a gain of 1.
Three minutes with the way your defense has been playing. You almost want to try to score as quick as possible because you feel your defense can get another 3 and out, right? I mean, it's been that kind of game.
Offense very balanced so far today. That has been a calling card for Penn State all season. Shift that formation again. Allen takes the direct snap. Allen following blockers. And a Penn State first down.
Nice job front side by both tight ends. There was Tyler Warren at the point of attack. Dinkins also getting involved, and then you pull your offensive lineman. It looked like Dominic Ruley, number 52, came around and led up through the hole.
35-yard line, first down and 10, coming up on that 2-minute timeout. One of those odd formations from Penn State. Aller lofts it down the middle. It is caught. He just threw up a prayer, and it was answered by Omari Evans.
So the shifts and the motions, there's just no one in the middle of the field for Maryland. Completely outmatched. And Drew Allen just gave his guy a chance.
2-minute timeout in Happy Valley. Conference-wide donation competition been going on all season long as Bo Perbula is in a quarterback for Penn State. 1:57 to go in this first half. Perbula going to pitch it to the outside. Allen lowers his head and gets inside the 10 to the 9.
That was really great defense that time by Maryland. Again, a lot to defend. Penn State forces you to be mentally engaged. Nice job by the freshman, Roland, coming up and making that tackle.
Gave him a couple of bonus yards. He got down to the 7-yard line. See the total yards this quarter dominated by Penn State.
They're winning in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
They're doing it all season long. Aller to pass. Aller to Warren! And the record has been set in Happy Valley.
He's just dominating the record books at this point.
All-time touchdown record for tight ends. Passing Pat Freiermuth. 17 touchdowns in this illustrious career for Tyler Warren.
There's been some, Iowa is regarded as tight end U in the Big Ten Conference. Penn State, they got a case at least. At least I'm making the case for it now.
31-7. Go wax on your tight ends, Jake.
How about it, man? Listen, this guy, no weaknesses, does a little bit of everything. You better try to get a hand on him at the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, that happens. We'll see you in 30 seconds. To put a bow on the Tyler Warren, I mean, this guy, it's so clear that is an NFL tight end that just happens to still be in college. I mean, he's an unstoppable force.
For Tyler Warren, amazing career in Happy Valley. 1,500 career receiving yards entering today. It's the most ever at Penn State for a tight end. Holds a single season receptions record for a tight end in Big Ten history. Got that earlier today. And then also entering today, 10 total touchdowns, 5 receiving, 4 rushing, 1 passing. We were here for the passing touchdown. It was awesome. He's got a touchdown reception. If he could return kicks, I'm sure the Penn State Nittany Lions would let him do that.
Yes.
I mean,
punt, maybe let him punt the ball, kick the ball. He's a great basketball player in high school, too.
Morris back to pass again. Dump it off into the flat. Near a first down. And, he was sniffing on the all-time yards record in Big Ten history for a tight end. He's only 38 yards away. If you're going to go get the record, you might as well go for a nice round number, 1,000.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, he would have had it. He would have had it maybe by now, but it was the carry. Drew Aller threw it backwards to him.
He'd be 2 away if those 29 yards counted as receiving yards and not rushing yards. First down and 10 for Maryland. Can they make some noise going into halftime? Abdul Carter.
My goodness.
Right by the shoelaces. Carter brought him down.
This guy has the best first step.
Timeout.
Explosive.
Maryland, 30 seconds. We'll be back. Carter, so disruptive.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
Big Ten fans, shop Rally House for the best selection of Big Ten team gear. From the newest arrivals to the most popular styles, there's gear for every fan at Rally House.
Jerseys, headwear, fit for a win. Shop the latest styles in the Big Ten. City, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Shop in store and online at rallyhouse.com.
Sticks City. It takes a lot to be bestowed the number 11 here in Happy Valley, and Abdul Carter has earned it and then some. Morris again back to pass. And he's got Ty Felton across the 50-yard line and then slung out of bounds, and a flag comes in afterwards. Jalen Reed going to get flagged. Felton with his third catch.
Yeah, it's one of those things with how good your defense has been playing. Why even do that?
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Defense number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Crowd's booing, but that is the right call. Can't throw. That's kind of one of the newer rules, at least, where you can't throw the opponent to the ground. No help. You're leaving Abdul Carter one-on-one with your tackles up top. It's very surprising.
Slip it underneath. Inside the 25-yard line to Dylan Wade. Still 2 timeouts left for Maryland. They are in field goal range after that gain of 11.
See, now what you have, you got a running back right here. Wow, that is a terrible circle to help out your tackle.
Looked like a happy vase. Cross the middle, intercepted. Second pick of the game for Penn State. Tony Rojas.
Well, and once again, Abdul Carter was on MJ Morris, so that always helps. It's the complete picture defensively. Watch him with the up and under right here. I mentioned there's the running back to help out the right tackle. And then here's 13 dropping into coverage. So watch, it starts with Abdul Carter, up and under, bang. Now he's on MJ Morris, about to hit him. And a good job by Rojas sitting in that underneath zone, just reading the eyes of MJ Morris. It's been a total performance outside of that very first play by Maryland's defense. Excuse me, Penn State's defense.
3 timeouts from the 9-yard line. How aggressive do you want to be?
I say fully aggressive with how well you move the ball.
Aller to the outside. That's Fleming on the reception. Pickup of 5. Clock still ticking. And this offense can fly with their tempo.
This is, I mean, they're so comfortable in these tempo situations.
Aller again got rid of it to Warren. That's a first down and out of bounds to stop the clock.
That's a real short completion, but that was a great job by Drew Aller because he was looking initially to Tyler Warren, got off of him because the coverage was there, but then the coverage saw his eyes, and as soon as they dropped, he didn't even look. That was a no-look pass out to the flat to Tyler Warren.
32 yards. I was doing the math. Thank you for the ometer for popping up there. Aller again to the outside. Singleton out of bounds again after a gain of 6 or 7.
Another piece of this is how exhausted Maryland's defense has to be. Just how long they've been on the field this entire half.
And this quarter alone has been utterly dominated by Penn State's offense.
It feels like it's just been there. It's been Penn State offense the entire quarter. Full control of this game.
7 first downs in the game for Maryland. 4 of them came on that last drive. 42nd play of the game run by Penn State's offense. Aller again outside. Warren couldn't hang on.
It's a very rare drop. That's a play they've went to. That's probably the 3rd or 4th time today. We called it Y branch. Just a 7 or 8 yard out route. It's bread and butter. Jason Witten, Dallas Cowboys, that made a ton of money off of that play. We've seen Warren have 2 catches already and a very rare drop.
3rd and 5 for Penn State. Aller steps up. He's got all day to run. Picks up the first down and gets out of bounds.
That's the piece. You know, again, when we talk about Penn State being so good in chasing that next level, you're chasing these small percentage points. Drew Aller's legs aren't a huge part of the offense, but what they've provided, and particularly the time that he's provided them with, has been so important for unlocking new elements of this offense.
Aller again steps up. That is going to be hauled in. That's the freshman tight end, Luke Reynolds, with the catch. As the officials confirm, they will say incomplete.
That was a beautiful ball by Drew Aller, though, putting it only where his guys could get it. Luke Reynolds, let's see. Yeah, the toe looked like the toe was just on the white there, huh?
Just barely.
But, you know, you might think Tyler Warren's going to be in the NFL here soon, and the whole conference can finally breathe. Watch out, Luke Reynolds is coming down the pipe. They think he can be special.
They might look at this again.
On the previous play, an incomplete pass. The play's under further review.
Let's go check it out again. There was not a lot of space between that toe and the paint, so they're going to take another look and make sure.
They trust Luke Reynolds, though, and I mean,
Mike Pereira's out in Los Angeles. Mike, great to chat with you again. Final week of the regular season. What do you got on this catch, no catch?
You know, it's so close. Now you don't have a shot that's right down the line, so you don't get the great look at the toe right there. You know, ruled. There was hesitation between the two officials, but the deep official came in and actually made the decision, and I really haven't seen anything at this point to where you could change that.
Thanks so much, Mike. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I mean, that is so razor thin on that edge. I'm just not sure if there's anything that would overturn it. From behind the play, not sure if you could ever tell from that angle. I mean, it is so close. You don't know where that toe is. It takes you back to week 1 of the NFL season. Isaiah Likely at the back end of the end zone against the Chiefs.
It's a game of inches. Shows up every week. Penn State tight ends are almost like too athletic for their own good. If you didn't have such a high vert, maybe you could have got down in bounds. But again, they trust Luke Reynolds, and maybe no bigger example than the fake punt on 4th and 1 last week, to put that in the hands of a freshman and to have him go execute the way they did at that time in the game, at that point in their season. So again, I mean, we've highlighted Tyler Warren a ton of times today.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Incomplete pass. Second down.
Just not sure there was enough there to overturn it.
Yeah. 85 is going to have him a very special career, though. Absolutely.
Luke Reynolds, who just started playing tight end in his senior year of high school, too. He was a quarterback before that.
Need some chunks if you're Penn State. All 3 timeouts, so the whole field's open.
Dump it off. Dinkins out of bounds again. More chunks out to the 45-yard line with 15 seconds to go. I mean, everything is in play here with 3 timeouts.
Isn't it? I mean, just Drew Aller looks so poised back there, too, right? He's just, you can see in real time how much he's grown in terms of his mental processing.
The word that kept being brought up in our meetings was empowered.
Yes, yes. Just they've handed him the keys to the program, to the offense, and he's proven that that was the right choice.
Aller steps up. Incomplete. Miscommunication with Fleming, who stopped on his route. 9 seconds to go.
Obviously, you need big-time chunks here to at least consider a field goal. You have plenty of time, but really it has to happen on this play. Also want to add, we talked to him pregame. Might be the nicest guy we've talked to on the field too. I mean, this guy, the total package. Offensive line's done a good job. Drew Aller's had plenty of time to throw.
Aller again to Warren on the sideline. First down, 4 seconds to go.
And that's Maryland just caught in a really bad matchup. That's Ruben Hippolyte, their linebacker, matched up on Tyler Warren. Big time mismatch.
13 yards to go to become the all-time receiving yards leader in the Big Ten. And we are going to try a long field goal. This is from 53. He already connected for a career-long 49. He's got the wind at his back. And it's blocked. Maryland comes up with a block at the end of the first half. They will have the football to start the third quarter. Barker had his kick blocked, just his second miss of the season.
And knowing the length of the field goal means a lower trajectory, Maryland put a ton of bodies there out to their right. They were able to just break through the left side of Penn State's protection.
Second quarter, I should say, was dominated by Penn State. 4 field goals, and they are up 31-7. And remember, Tyler Warren just 13 yards away from becoming the all-time receiving yards leader in Big Ten tight end history.
They dominated that half in the trenches first, and that's what great teams do.
Brooke is downstairs with James Franklin.
Coach, 4 touchdowns from your offense in the second quarter. What changed on that side of the ball that you hope they can continue in the second half?
Yeah, we just stopped hurting ourselves. We cleaned some things up. We had the fumble. We had another fumbled snap. So once we got those things settled down, we were fine.
What do you make of just the disruption your defense has created in the first half?
Yeah, they've been doing that all year long. So once we were able to get them all scheduled, we were able to impact the game. But our defense has been playing lights out all year.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
One more half of football here in Happy Valley in the regular season. Penn State's got a 31-7 lead and history, hopefully, in the second half for Tyler Warren.
Hoping to continue that the rest of the way, guys.
Can't stop him. We can only hope to contain him as Maryland's offense will get the football coming out of this halftime. 31-7 Penn State, and after that first touchdown pass on the first play for Maryland, Maryland's offense didn't do very much. How about the tight end record-ometer, 13 yards away for the single season record for yards by a tight end in Big Ten history. Might as well just go get that round number of 1,000, right? He's sniffing on it, so make sure you stay tuned. He's not far away from it. Roman Hemby in the backfield with MJ Morris. Remember, he's making the start today, his first at Maryland, as Hemby goes around the corner across the 30, pushing those legs near the 35-yard line. For Maryland on this side, they've got to have some continuity on offense. They just haven't had it against this ferocious defense from Penn State.
Yeah, that's, I mean, if you look at the halftime adjustments, the game plan has to be to adjust and help the offensive line up front. It's just been a complete mismatch. I mean, every which way Penn State's D-line is having their way.
Ty Felton with just 2 catches in that first half. They go up the middle. It's going to be a first down for the Terps. A lot to play for in terms of what Penn State is playing for next week, but for Maryland, what they're playing for, they're not going to a bowl game for the first time in the last 3 years. For Mike Loxley, it's a disappointing season, yes, but they've got a young team, they've got a young core still trying to develop.
And for the seniors too, is they love football. This is, some guys, this is their last chance to play organized football.
Abdul Carter was putting some heat on MJ Morris yet again. Second down and 10. The theme this week for Maryland was finish.
Yeah. Loxley's done a great job. You mentioned the bowl streaks prior to this year. Been a competitive program. He's recruited well. It's just at the positions of need, the offensive line and the secondary, they've been beat up with injuries and youth, and it's really just hampered their ability to win games.
Run up the middle. Good gain. And a Hemby in the open into Penn State territory.
Well, we've been critical of the offensive line. We'll give the offensive line credit here. That was a great job opening a lane for Hemby. Didn't even get touched, really, until he got to the second or third level.
Such a dynamic back. He's not had the production this year because of that youthful offensive line.
He was a freshman All-American. I mean, I remember watching him as a freshman thinking the sky was the limit.
Hemby gets it again, wrapped up and driven backward. Kobe King, relentless.
You know, what a lot of teams do when they're playing a team like Penn State or say even a team like Ohio State or Oregon, right, is normally what you do is you slow the game down. You don't want to get into tempo. You want to try to shorten the game, but at times in the first half it felt like Maryland was trying to go too fast. And not only did it hurt them when they went 3 and out, I think it hurt their offensive line in terms of their ability to get set and think about their technique. The game moved a little too fast for them up front.
2nd and 10 for Morris. Pressure coming. Carter again.
He's got maybe the fastest first step in college football right here on the other side of number 3. And watch him work right there. It's the up and under. Maryland had Nolan Ray there to try to help out the tackle, but what Marcus Dumerville needs to know is the help was on the outside, so you could short set that. He overset, and there was no chance for Nolan Ray to help him, and a clear lane for Abdul Carter to get inside.
He is just so fast. Now he's lined up right across the center. Carter again with heat. Able to get it away to Felton right at the 50-yard line. But Abdul Carter, as he made that last sack, 4 sacks in the game. How about the pose?
I mean, he's not winning the Heisman this year, but a Heisman performance? Yes, this would be, in terms of individual performance, yes, today is a Heisman performance. He's unblockable right now.
Outstanding defensive effort. We talked earlier in the first half about what it means to wear the number 11 on defense for Penn State. He has earned it and performed it for Stick City. And almost a block on the punt. Tracy calls for the fair catch. It's going to settle at the 16-yard line. It is all coming up. Nittany Lions in Happy Valley. How close did they get to blocking this one? Missed it by that much. Tyler Warren split out to the left. 13 yards away from history. Aller looking his way, incomplete. Coverage by Glendon Miller. All-time tight end single season receiving yards record, 13 yards away.
Do you think he'll get it?
I mean, they're going to feed him till he gets it.
Yes, you have to, right? James Franklin's got to be aware. And it's the case for the Mackey, too, right? I mean, Harold Fannin, the Bowling Green tight end, has a case. Colston Loveland, the other finalist from Michigan, he didn't play in the game today.
Got it out quick. Catch. And it takes a gang of Terps to bring down Tyler Warren. They'll give him 8. So he's 5 yards away.
Also good to see 71 Ioane back in the game as well. Remember, he left the game there in the first half.
5 away. Remember the last time we were here, Penn State was counting down their total yards in a single game. So we have had a lot of ometers in Happy Valley with his crew. 3rd down and 2. Hand it off. Katron Allen, first down and more.
Just a great job up front. Right guard, right tackle. Getting movement on the down man. Both tight ends getting movement.
Allen gets it again, tries the left side of the offensive line. Good push and out to the 40-yard line.
This is bread and butter outside zone teach tape. You get the defense running laterally and then you waterfall off the backside. It completely took Maryland's D-line into the back 5-10 yards down the field.
Khalil Dinkins slow to get up. One of the big three tight ends for Penn State. Being tended to. James Franklin out on the field, make sure Dinkins is all right.
He had a great block on that play. Just completely took his man. He was at the point of attack. Took Maryland's DN 5, 6, 7 yards downfield. It was a beautiful, beautiful block. It looks like he just kind of got rolled up on at the end.
He is up and walking off the field. Here's that block, Jake.
Yeah, watch him right here. Right on the left side. Watch him turn and run. This is outside zone. You see how the whole line steps in unison and they just run laterally. And look at him. I mean, he's the point of attack. And just late there at the very end got rolled up on. Good to see him walk off though.
Empty set for Aller on this 2nd down and 3. Now Allen shifts back to Aller's right. Allen hammered behind the line of scrimmage. Daniel Wingate came flying in for the TFL.
Little cross dog pressure. Wingate beat the center Nick Dawkins. Was able to go backdoor for that nice TFL.
Getting the opportunity with no Caleb Wheatland in the game today. Those young linebackers an opportunity. 3rd down and 5. Aller flushed. Aller escapes. Aller's on the move. Finishes forward right at the sticks. This is such a point of emphasis for Aller, falling forward and not sliding.
But even before he got there, and this is why, because when you start your slide, that's when you you're ruled down as a runner. But by falling forward here, which has been a point of emphasis per James Franklin, you get those extra yards, and you see that was the difference between a first down or not. But even before that, how about him shaking off Maryland's defensive line? Again, I say it, I use the comp as Ben Roethlisberger.
Officials may take another look at this one.
The ruling on the previous play was the runner made the line to gain for a first down. The play is under further review.
Another review coming. Saw that last shot was that ball behind the sticks as that knee was on the ground. Would negate a 3rd down pickup, would create a 4th and inches situation.
It does look like he might be a half yard short there, yeah?
That's from the camera ahead of the sticks. Knee, calf, shin down. It's a great shot from the cart. Looks like he's about a half a yard short.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be half a yard. Great angles. So 4th and short coming up once they respot it and reset it. Again, there's 2 or 3 Maryland defenders that had him wrapped up, and he just shook them off.
Here's the call.
After review, the runner was a half yard short of the line to gain. It will be 4th down.
On your game, Jake, half a yard.
Hey, our predictions have been kind of spot on today.
I mean, here we are at, what is this, week 14?
Better be, right?
I mean, we should, at this point, be pretty dialed in.
I got another prediction. The tush-push formation is coming up.
I like where your head's at. Let's see how they line up. Yep. And Aller will jump forward. It's at least the third or fourth time that they have run that play. They've been successful every time. 4 first downs and a touchdown today on his 7 total rushes. Remember last week, his run to set up that fake punt, so critical.
It was 3rd and 9. He ran to get it to 4th and 1.
Doing all the little things. Handed off. Allen spun around and brought down for a loss of 1. Ruben Hippolyte, senior linebacker. And they'll stop this play before it can get going. And a false start.
False start. Offense number 5. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Next Saturday, Big Ten Tailgate is live from Indianapolis. Set the scene for the Big Ten Football Championship. Fun begins 2 Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. We know Oregon will be there. Penn State a 1.25 away from joining the Ducks. Aller fakes the pitch. Perfect pass and hookup with Omari Evans for a first down. Needed 16, got 16 and a half.
The ball just jumps out of Drew Aller's hands. And again, decisive. Good job by Evans winning on that deep out route. And as the best quarterbacks do, Drew Aller was completely ready for that, put that ball right on the money. That on top of it, it was almost perfect protection as well.
Thrown below his season percentage in terms of completions, but very efficient today for Aller. Hand off Allen. Again, brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Wingate been making a few plays on those linebacker run-throughs.
Drive that has lasted nearly 6 minutes. Going with tempo. Aller. And able to get rid of it. Smart play. 3rd and 11. James Franklin, who has so many wins, 90+ wins at his time at Penn State, has not played in the college football playoff.
Before the Ohio State game, too, I mean, he had like a State of the Union, talking to the fan base, basically. He understands this program needs to take that next step. That's going to come if this game finishes against Oregon.
Shift out with Warren running it as the quarterback. He pushes it forward, brings up 4th down and 8.
I wonder if they were thinking they could get a few more on that and then go for it on 4th and medium, huh?
I mean, he's thrown for 1 already today. That's the type of play where you may have an option once you get it, see if you get the right look.
Yeah. He's also such a great runner, Tyler Warren. He can get those dirty yards, those extra yards.
3 rushes, 32 yards for him. Kick is in the air. And secured inside the 10-yard line by Ty Felton. Step aside in Happy Valley. It is all Nittany Lions.
If you know luxury, it's not just award-winning.
Tyler Warren putting all of his skills on display today. Touchdown, the most by any Penn State tight end in their program history, passing Pat Fryermuth earlier. And we will have a change at quarterback for Maryland. Champ Long is the new quarterback. He will hand it off. Nolan Ray scoots forward for maybe a half a yard. So Champ Long takes over. Remember, Billy Edwards was going to try and give it a go, dealing with that hand and thumb injury, but with the weather, with the way that it is, having him grip a football is going to be very difficult. So now you got Champ Long.
Yeah, asked Loxley about this possibility. Said the offense, nothing changes offensively. They're still going to operate their system. Again, I just go back to they got to help out this offensive line.
Long in trouble, sets up the screen. Preston Howard escapes one, pushes forward, and a strong, powerful run for a first down.
It's a really nice play by Preston Howard. Nice play, too, by Long to be able to get that ball over the defenders. That's something they're going to have to do. The screen game is always a nice antidote to your opponent bringing pressure. Haven't seen much of Caden Prather outside of that first touchdown.
His only catch of the day is on their first play. Handoff right side, wrapped up and driven backward. Denied Dennis Sutton on the stop. Another one of those unheralded defensive ends. And a guy that you love too, Zane Durant.
Yes.
Takes a lot of the pressure away from that linebacker group because he creates so many mismatches down low. To the outside, incomplete. Threw it into double coverage, intended for Ryan Manning.
So part of the reason that the shortest path from A to B is a straight line, and the up and under has been coming all day. These tackles need to understand that. We've seen Abdul Carter do it a few times. We've seen Denied Dennis Sutton do it a few times. That time we saw Vanover do it. At some point, the tackles have to start to anticipate the up and under move and short set it.
Vanover with a sack earlier in the game. Provided the pressure on Champ Long, 3rd and long. Just able to get the play away. Long in trouble, down he goes again. Dennis Sutton for the sack. They've got 5 in the game, Jake.
Got to acknowledge this defensive line as one of the best in college football, certainly one of the most disruptive, and they have answers for everything. They are the aggressor. How about that? That's even Zion Tracy, your nickel, getting in on the sacks. Asked Tom Allen yesterday if he's having fun just calling plays. I think that answer is easy. Yes, he is, especially with the talent he gets to coach.
Denied Dennis Sutton picks up his 4th sack of the year. Another tackle for loss. Nittany Lions are roaring fiercely at home. Nick Singleton in the backfield with Aller. Singleton gets it, a burst over the left side, near a first down, pickup of 9. We talk about this offense, Jake. They haven't had a lot of 3rd down opportunities because they are so good on 1st and 2nd down.
That's a key statistic. Get to it in a sec, but one of the things that we talk about a lot is 3rd down percentage, but the best teams, to your point, Jeff, they avoid 3rd down altogether because they're so good on those early downs.
Singleton at 50 yards. He has scored in this game. Such a weapon out of the backfield, too. Had 6 catches last week in the win against Minnesota. Warren goes in motion. Aller to the outside. Evans with the catch and brought down Let's go downstairs. Brooke Fletcher more on Nick Singleton.
Yeah, offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki said that Nick Singleton has the ability to take over a game, much like Tyler Warren when he's 100%. While Singleton's been a little banged up this fall, he's been working hard just to get back to full strength. And this week at practice, he said, hey, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Drew Aller even emphasized that having him back at his explosive best is just crucial for this offense. Like you mentioned, we saw that last week versus Minnesota. He's dynamic, and his playmaking ability really makes a difference on this offense, guys.
Thank you, Brooke. Beulah in at quarterback. There's Singleton to the outside for a first down. And that will end the third quarter as Singleton continues to chug those legs. His 12th carry. He is over 60 yards. He's set for Aller. Aller slips it out to Singleton inside the 20-yard line. Remember, Singleton had that big 66-yard kick return too. We talked about how he runs, how he catches out of the backfield. Great return man as well.
He's got that home run ability, and there's been some key statistics in his career. I believe his freshman year at one point, he was leading all running backs in carries over 40 yards, over 50 yards. He's got that home run speed. Kind of one of the big storylines starting last season going into this season is they just didn't have any space to run, and now with Kotelnicki, he's unlocked that space, which has unlocked the speed of Singleton.
Singleton gets the pitch. Singleton in again. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
Well, that's right on cue, right? When we're talking about the speed to get to the outside, he's got the acceleration, and once it's acceleration to get to the edge, and then it's the speed to get downhill. And all the motion and the window dressing, by the time he had caught the ball off that pitch, he had the defense out leveraged. That's where the speed really started to show up because you're not catching him from behind.
Parker for the extra point. It's up and good. The balance, unbelievable. 177 rushing, 180 passing. Nick Singleton with 2 scores. Say hello, Nick. We're all watching.
Whether
State, great looking at Happy Valley. And they are 14-14 away from gassing up the cars and heading to Indianapolis next week. Big Ten championship game against Oregon. Short kick to McLaurin. He will take the fair catch. And we will take a timeout as well. Nick Singleton, James Franklin, loving every minute of it. It's for the Nittany Lions today. Aller for Beulah, Tyler Warren, and MJ Morris back on the field for Maryland. Slips it to the outside. Singleton and Allen have also taken snaps at the quarterback position, running the Wildcat, but Tyler Warren a receiving touchdown. For Beulah's got a rushing touchdown, and Aller has just been his consistent self.
I give credit to Kotelnicki. I was trying to kind of ask him in the meeting. It's easy. Football's got a lot of language, and it'd be easy to make this system extremely complex, but especially with how fast Penn State plays, with all the different looks, formations, personnels, he teaches it well.
Nice jump cut by Roman Hemby to push the sticks for a first down. Andy Kotelnicki up in the booth, coming over from Kansas, leaving his longtime mentor, Lance Leipold, who's the head coach at Kansas. He's been with them for a long time. Buffalo, Wisconsin Whitewater.
Isn't that another thing James Franklin told us? I'll tell you here in a second.
Morris, nice catch.
But, talking to James Franklin, like, hey, what's changed for you? How have you evolved? How has this program evolved? And he mentioned just the alignment from the top down. He felt that a few years ago they wouldn't have been able to get Kotelnicki because they made their interest known, and Kansas did everything to keep him home, and they had to kind of get in a bidding war. But because of the alignment here from AD and top down, they knew that this was the key piece to unlock that next level, and certainly it's paid its dividends this season.
Morris going to run it. Ooh, hit from the backside. Max Granville coming up and hammering Morris. 3rd down and 4 as we see some of the second team Penn State defenders on the field for the first time. One and a 9 on 3rd down for Maryland. Morris to pass. Morris across the middle short. Was trying to get it to Shalik Knotts. Penn State moving forward. Big one next week against Oregon, of course, and trying to get the proverbial monkey off your back, right?
It's a fresh opponent, you know. As we were talking in the break, just, you know, Michigan having the mental edge against Ohio State. You know, Penn State has tried many times to beat Ohio State and has fallen short. Well, Oregon's a fresh opponent. They don't know. Oregon doesn't know. This is a matchup really no one knows. It's gonna be a fun matchup to watch next weekend.
Checks up, gonna be fielded. 1 juke, 2 jukes, and then down inside the 15-yard line. Takes us to a timeout in Happy Valley. All Nittany Lions.
That's what.
This game sponsored by State Farm. Lots coming up. Dave, Ashley, Marcel, they've got scores, reactions from around the rest of the league. And for Tyler Warren, 5 yards short from becoming the all-time receiving yards leader for the tight end position in conference history. And this is a big contention here. Where is that football going out of the hands of Aller? Is it forward? Is it backward? They initially called that a running play for Tyler Warren. With it, he's the all-time leader. Perbula brings down that high snap and then just lays on it. Could the league go back and say that's a forward pass?
Yeah, it's probably worth looking at. It is close.
109 total yards. Doing everything per usual, Tyler Warren. Needed 73 to set the all-time mark in terms of yards. He's already set the program record for tight end touchdowns. Picked up his 17th earlier in the game. Quentin Martin is the running back. Perbula to pass. He'll run for it. Perbula makes a man miss, spins out of a tackle and gets down to the 19-yard line. Gain of 15 brings up 4th down, and the punting unit is coming out for Penn State.
It looked like I thought I saw number 24, Corey Smith, running down the sidelines, was asking for a pitch, which is kind of crazy, but in Kotelnicki's offense, maybe not. Can you imagine just a uncharted pitch? Who knows?
It would be a very Travis Kelce, Chiefsy thing to do. Hunt nestles at the 38-yard line. Maryland's got the football. Time to have some fun. Happy Valley.
Y'all see this? Patrick Mahomes is saying good
picks and a partridge in a pear tree for this Penn State defense. They have been ferocious. Gave up a touchdown on the first play that the Terrapins ran on offense following a fumble. Nothing since, and I mean nothing. Well, this is our last game on the Big Ten Network, and our crew, just outstanding. We are obviously the mouthpieces of what this crew does, but the folks behind the scenes deserve all of the credit, because we would not be what we are without our outstanding crew. They've been with us week in and week out, traveling. Now, Derek, our camera operator today, woke up in San Francisco and made it to State College in time to be on camera for us. Derek and Kent, Ike, Julio downstairs on our Megalodon. There's Derek. Way to go, buddy. He is going to get a great nap after the game tonight. Running on fumes. Third down from Maryland. Pushing that pile forward, and they'll mark him shorter. It'll be fourth down. You know, all the great replays that we're able to see, all those freezes on those awesome shots from our camera operators, our folks in the tape room, Karen and Phil and Misha, they're with us every week, running all those different replays through their machines. Our technical director, Kristen, pushing all the buttons, all the right buttons. Jake and I push the wrong buttons most of the time. Roman Hemby, I should say, that's Nolan Ray, who is bottled up and sent backward. And Penn State with another hold. Give a lot of credit to our video operator, Chad Stanley, makes all the pictures look so awesome week in and week out. Dave Framby's on our BTN bar down at the bottom. Has some of the great facts in our production meetings week in and week out. Alex Olson, our AD, and hopefully award-winning documentarian in the future. Ooh. Nice move. What a move. Corey Smith with the hesitation. We'll get to more thank yous, but man, what a move by Corey Smith.
He'd been, I mean, listen, Singleton and Allen, they got their fair chances, so he'd been sitting on the bench for the large part of the game. Didn't come in cold, though. Came in ready to dance.
Hasn't played since the Purdue game. This is just his third collegiate game, Corey Smith. Perbula carries it. Perbula gets to the outside and runs out of bounds.
For our camera crew, though, you know what they say? They say don't judge them on their wins, judge them on their misses because they have so few. When have we needed a replay today that we didn't have 1, 2, or 3 perfect angles right away, right on cue?
All works in unison.
Perfect.
Our statistician who's been on our ometers all year, our graphics coordinator, Alex Struckman, working perfectly with Elena, pushing the buttons. To the outside against Smith with the catch and brought down by 3 Terps. Up here in the booth on our parabolic mics, secondary audio with Scott. We got Kyle. There's Kent up on the cart, harnessed in. Kyle and Scott up in the booth. There's Julio, best mustache in the league. I'm telling you, it is nails and great balance. Perbula again to run it.
Nice play.
A lot of space and a first down for Penn State. Our statistician, Talent Stats, Ethan Cooperson, is going to write down a number on the yards that it was gained there. That was good for 11. Thanks, Coop. Bob Lanigan, our spotter. No one makes me feel smaller, just in stature, than Bob. Being wedged between Jake and Bob, I'm the smallest man in America. And up in the front row of our production table, calling the shots, our director, Andrew Blaustein, the best in the business. And a good run by Smith down to the 15-yard line, and the straw that stirs the drink, Bart Fox, our producer, keeps us all in line and reminds us always to never dilly nor dally. Appreciate all of your hard work each and every week to bring the absolute best football production to the Big Ten Network. And of course, to Brooke Fletcher down on the field, and to Jake Butt, our analyst up here in the booth. It has been an absolute honor. This is my first year on this crew, and you guys make it so fun to come to work each and every week. New and inventive storylines, and just so dialed in. Jake, it's been a pleasure to share the airwaves with you. Brooke downstairs, if she can hear us through the icicles that have formed in her hair. Third down and 6 for Penn State. Perbula's going to run it again. Perbula Going to be about a yard short. Can't forget about Chris West and Sean Quashny as well. Our tech managers and operation manager every week making sure we have parking spots,
yes,
credentials. It takes a true team to put this whole thing together, and we can't go much further without giving a lot of credit to Mark Holsey, our executive producer at the Big Ten Network, and Alex Birchie, our vice president of remote operations. Unbelievable work all season long. That was a 4th down play. They came up short. Maryland will turn it over. We'll be back in 30 seconds. One more shout out to Mike, our drone operator for tonight. He was also on our drone for the Northwestern Ohio State game at Wrigley. Man, what's great shots. Handed off up the middle to Ray. Scoots forward just about to the 20. And on Parabolic Mike today, Alan Olson again.
Yes.
Alex Olson's dad. He joined us at Penn State when we were here against Kent State. And Alan is back on the field holding the Parabolic mic.
Well, and Jeff, you're too humble to shout out yourself, so I'll shout you out and say shout out to Jeff Levering, our point guard, for navigating us there, and also a fitting end to the season because we've had 2 great times here and 2 great ometers here. We got to see a record-setting day earlier in the year against Kent State. And now another record-setting day in some ways and just short in other ways for Tyler Warren.
2 out of 3 for Tyler Warren.
Yes.
He got the catches for all time for a tight end in Big Ten history. The Penn State record for touchdowns for a tight end, just 5 yards short of the all-time yards, but he will have another week to do that against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis.
He's going to be a phenomenal NFL tight end one day.
There's no doubt about that. There are going to be some offensive coaches as Nolan Ray makes his way forward, some offensive coaches in the NFL that are going to be salivating to get him.
Seriously, like there's truly no weakness to his game. Usually when you have a guy that's such an elite receiver and route runner, they don't want to block. They figured, hey, I'll help the team by catching the ball. But not only is a willing blocker, at times he's actually a dominant blocker. Then you add in the fact that he's comfortable in the Wildcat. He can throw the ball. He's got the high school quarterback background. He can run the ball. If he gets in the right system in the NFL, this guy's going to put up crazy big numbers.
Go across the middle into Penn State territory. That was Hemby on the catch. 2-minute timeout is looming. MJ Morris will let that time get to the 2-minute timeout.
Marathon knows that fans are the true co-pilot of any team. Through the good and the bad, you support your team through every...
Francois McGillicuddy of the Big Ten Network, thank you for your leadership and guidance. And another sack. Jordan Mayer picks up a full sack. Number 6 for the Nittany Lions.
It's been like sharks when they smell blood in the water today. I mean, it started early. And they're coming from every which way through games and pressure. My English teacher in college called it the Greek rhetorical circle. All stories, all great stories finish how they start. So how about that, Jeff? The Greek rhetorical circle.
It is
finishing the game with another sack.
That's deep. Deep thoughts by Jay Booty. Across the middle and intercepted. Talking about how they finish, how they start. There's a pick. Penn State's going the other way. Penn State is going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line. Dejon Lane with his first career pick.
Well, this is really great to see. James Franklin's going to love this because remember when Kevin Winston went down, Dejon Lane was a name that they mentioned is going to have to step up. Now, their 2 starting safeties have done a great job. Dejon Lane maybe hasn't gotten the reps we might have expected earlier in the season, but That's a great rep, one that he's going to like putting on tape, and almost had the touchdown. Something about that number 10. You just look fast in the number 10 here for Penn State.
Handed off. Corey Smith gets the carry. Well, Penn State got a date with Oregon. First meeting since the 1995 Rose Bowl. Penn State won that ball game. Second Big Ten championship game for Penn State. Their first since 2016. Oregon 4-2 all-time in conference championship games. Again, this is their first year in the Big Ten. They're playing for a Big Ten championship. Still have that number 1 seed. They have a lot to play for, as do the Nittany Lions. Into the outside, final play of this game, and Penn State can get on the highway to Indianapolis. Try and run one more play. They're going deep, and it's incomplete with 4 seconds to go. Tyler Johnson was the intended receiver, and it is 4th down and 12. Tyler Warren, who's 5 yards short of the receiving record for tight ends in the Big Ten. It is 4th down and 12. Can you buy 4 seconds and end this game if you're Bo Pribula? That's what they're trying to do. Pribula to pass, and it is caught! Touchdown, Penn State! Ties